Hello and welcome back to Lord Fenton Gaming Plays Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I'm your host Lord Fenton. In today's Don't Panic video guide, the game we're going to be talking about is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Yes folks, you can be learning from this guide on experience, how it's earned, rarity of items, tips and hints, and more. As always, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more Assassin's Creed content like this. And do not forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be up to date on all my content. Now in today's Don't Panic guide, I'm going to show everybody the basic ropes of this game. So just watch the video and learn. And here we go. Why am I showing you all the save system? Because you want to abuse it in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. You can run into a bug and glitch, you can reload before that happens. If there's a trophy or achievement that's missable, you can reload and then try the other way to do it. And most important, when you do story mode, there are choices in the game and consequences. You don't like that choice of consequences, you can load it back. Yes, there are at least 20 save files manually you get to do. Just remember, abuse the save system. That's important. Now, let's talk about the skill tree real quick. First of all, when you go into Assassin's Creed Odyssey, the first thing you want to get is the second wind skill tree. That's in the warrior tree. There's also 3 types of skills. Hunter for your range, such as bow and arrows. Warrior for melee, and assassination for being sneaky and assassinating people just like the older Assassin's Creed games. And Origin. This is from the Origin system, however they improved vastly on it. And later on there's masteries. We won't touch into that, so I'm going to show everybody a demonstration of each. Now, for the stealthy tree, you can become stealthy in the game, put enough points in stealthy. Well, guess what? You go into stealth mode. Also use items to couple that too, so you increase your stealth factor and stealth damage. And see right there, I'm being sneaky, and I'm going to hit the button right there. See? I did that from the assassination tree. Now, next up on the list is archery. Yes, you can also become a deadly archer in this game. All you need to do is just use certain skills, some of one-shot enemies, like this fellow right here. See? That's there and done for archery. Now, next up, last and final tree is the way of the warrior. Yes, you could do some mega damage and more. You could even set foes on fire, heal yourself, and more. You could also be defensive too. Assassin's Creed Odyssey has so many options you could choose from. You can mix up all 3 trees, focus on 2 or 3, exclusively focus on 1, that including using items too. So just remember to look for items that you need for that. I'll touch up more on the equipment later on. So that's it for the skill tree. Now next up on my list is the story. Yes folks, the story in the game. Besides me using Icaros to track down enemies and story mission objectives. Now, story, there are choices and consequences in this game. Reason why I showed everybody the save portion first, because you want to abuse that for the story. If you don't like your Lexios or Cassandra's story, reload your save and choose a different path. Yes, it'll take time and effort to do these stories. However, here is the thing. It is well worth it. The story is very rich and vast in the game overall. So just remember, pick which one to do. Also, side missions have some great and wonderful stories too, including the Lost Tales of Greece. Remember, like I said before, abuse the save system. Well, definitely do that before any major story cutscenes, because there'll be some choices you want to definitely make in the game. That's it for the story portion of this guide. Now there are 2 ways to level up in the game, just doing legitimate or using the My Story for Assassin's Creed Odyssey you found on Ubisoft's website. Make sure you enable that in the options menu. Once you do that, then you get other player stories. Now these stories sometimes can be very quick. You can gain some quick money and experience, especially quick money and experience. A big forewarning about this path. Ubisoft tends to nerf some of the experience and drachmy gains in this, so you need to be careful. Great news is if there are very short stories, keep on repeating them over and over again. I'll show everybody real quick and skip ahead towards the demonstration portion of the video. As I said before, this is a very quick method to gain drachmy, especially experience points in the game. However, I said before, there might be hotfix nerfs in it, so just definitely be careful of that. However, you get to repeat this many times as you want, and then use Ubisoft's website to search for the story, and mark them as your favorites right there. So if you want to do this method, then you just got to keep on doing it from 1 to 99. My advice is, I'd rather say just play the game as normal and just don't use this method so you can learn some things. And then once you learn plenty, yeah, then you can use this method right here. The next hot topic is leveling up the normal way. There was the quick way, however, I prefer the normal way when I'm learning a new game, so this way I can spend time with my character, learn his or her skill sets, or even build trees. Or I should say, better yet, builds. Now, for instance, I'm showing one of the activities are side quests from the message board. You can hunt a bounty on a pirate ship, a mercenary, doing contracts, and more. I'm even going to demonstrate right now one of them why you should do this method. Now, when you look at these quests on the message board, let me explain to everybody the tiers of rewards. Now, the best tier is gold, where you get the most experience, special currency, or drachmae. Now, blue is the lower tier, so the more work you put in these quests, or longer it takes, the more better rewards is. The quick ones, like a Midsummer Nightmare, for instance, is a blue experience point. However, it is gold. You definitely want to look for that. Another tip for me is Athens. When you get to the Athens chapter of the game, look for the one to kill Athenian archers. Why Athenian archers? They're really easy to kill. So now I pick up this quest right here to show everybody a demonstration why it's so easy to do in this game here. So just remember, talk to a woman, go through the dialogue scene. Now here's another tip for me about some of these quests with the hourglass. They are timed. That means you have a certain amount of time to do them, or otherwise they are marked as failed and you won't get the reward, even if you turn them in. Now, also another bonus tip for me is this. This one didn't have a choice to do. Sometimes you have a choice of either attacking the bandits or collecting supplies. So the choice is yours. Yes, Assassin's Creed Odyssey specializes in choices no matter what you do. So I skipped ahead in the video towards the assassination portions. This guy I'm about to shoot my bow and arrow. There you go, one hit. And I am going to quickly skip ahead towards the actual turning part to show everybody why this is important to do this. So this is really easy to do. Go to the quest giver who you originally got the quest from, and we're going to turn this in now. You just got to go through some dialogue like this. And my Cassandra just told the woman, well, the target's dead and she's going to pay you now, which is very good right there. See, we already got 3k drachmae, even some resources, and 25k experience points. That usually raises up on the higher levels. But as I said before, my advice is just do quests and activities. Yes, activities, even the battlefield activities. Take advantage of those. You'll learn a lot. That's my tip on getting experience. Let's talk about how to make drachmae, aka money, in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. There are so many ways. Sinking ships, that's obviously one way to do it. Another way is looting up chests, doing quests and side activities, and more. Now another good way is getting nation chests. Yeah, you loot them once in each nation, you get a whole bunch of money. It's a good source of money too if you know where the fortresses are, such as this one right here. So pillage the nation's chest, you get 4.9k drachmae. That usually raises up on the levels. Now another great way is keep on killing enemies and getting items such as epics. Epics are the best ones that are sold. Now I started off as 140k worth of money, and you're going to see that rise because thanks to these epics. They do sell a lot. See? After a day's work of farming, I'm just selling a whole bunch of epics right here as a demonstration of why this is important. Just keep on selling epics like this or anything else, and you should have enough money to buy resources and even upgrades. Let's talk about the equipment real quick. When you start out, you definitely want to look for is white equipment. At least that's the only best thing you get. Once you get a blue, hold on to that for a while, and then after that, go for purple and then legendary gear, which is the best. Also, there's also arrows you want to buy too. When you get different type of arrows later on, that's a great idea to start making them and using them for different situations until you feel like the right situation's for you. Even your horse does get upgrades, well, more of looks, but still. Another thing is I prefer legendaries because of the set pieces are full effect. Now if you have a whole bunch of epics and then put in the engraving, for instance, yes, you can engrave items in the game. You only get 50% of the legendary set bonuses. So keep that in mind. Also spend money on engravings too. First of all, you won't get that level 50 power one, so just keep on leveling up eventually, and then once you get to 50, look for Hephaestus' Forge. So I'm going to show everybody another demonstration why upgrading is important. Upgrade your weapons at every 1 or 2 levels, and your equipment at least 2 or 3 levels every piece. And just use my advice finally on farming for materials, and if you have enough money, definitely hit the vendors because they will sell resources from time to time, and you can use that to upgrade your equipment just like I did. It's real easy to do. That's my final advice on equipment. Just keep on upgrading them and pick which style of set equipment that fits to your needs. Now we talked about upgrading equipment. Let's talk about resources that's important. You can get resources all over the world, such as branches, ore, and more. That's like a slow time. Dismantling equipment, that's a good way to get resources too, especially the higher tier, the better it is. I advise against dismantling epic equipment because they sell better for money. You get them from shop vendors. Also, another way to get resources, you can actually tap the areas and farm them, are these resource icons right there on the map. I marked one right there as I'm going for it. Yeah, you definitely want to loot those before burning them up, because once you burn them up, yeah, it's very hard to get them, but you definitely want to do that. They're a great source. There's playing around. Just look all over the map for them, and I'm going to show everybody a demonstration of this, why you should do this method too. There's so many ways to get resources in the game. Now, if you have a whole pile of cash, then go hang up every single blacksmith vendor in the game and buy their resources until you got what you need. So just keep on doing that method, and you'll be well away with a whole bunch of resources, especially for ship upgrades. Besides quests, there are so much to do in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. There's bounties, and there's even battlefields like this. Bounties are a great way to move up in ranks, get some even legendary items, and more. Why, battlefields such as this right here could get you some loot and experience. This is another great way to get experience points too. However, it takes a little bit longer due to the fact you have to lower a nation's level until you get to the point where you do battle. You can either attack or defend. So that's my advice right there. If you're going to do these activities, know what you're doing and know how to have fun with them. Even the DLC has some wonderful activities in the game, so keep that in mind. Even exploration I will count as activities. Yeah. So if you go exploring, then you can find some things, which includes looting tombs right here. You get some nice skill points out of it, which is very important for your skill tree. More skill points you get, more you get to put into it. So this way your character will be powerful, just like mine, and clear this battlefield really quick. So just keep on doing activities and just keep on exploring. That's what this game is all about. Yeah, see, we got some experience points from that 56k. So let's talk about the next portion of the video. Now, there are ways to travel in Assassin's Creed Odyssey besides your own 2 feet. Now, just like any Assassin's Creed Odyssey games, just climb a structure or a building, get to a sync point. Once you see the animation, then you have fast travel options there. See right here? Just go over there, go towards the eagle right here, and just travel there. You can even travel to other worlds too with the DLC, so that's really easy to do. That's one way to travel. So let's talk about horse next. And that's right, folks. You call your ride your horse. Like I said before, I showed you earlier in the video, you have different skins for it. Horse is a nice way to travel to in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Now let's talk about the last and final option of the game. Now, your ship, that's another great way to travel too. Just be careful on the water because sometimes pirates will attack you, or if you accidentally attack a Spartan or Athenian, they will definitely attack you too. So that is it for the travel portion of the video. Let me give everybody some combat tips. As for ship combat, well, you have to learn how to use different type of ship firing, and then eventually, if you have the DLC, you have a special cannon do that. That's it for ship combat. Now, as you've seen before you, that person just threw the a bomb on the ground. Look out on your environment, so this way you can see. And if you also saw the perfect dodge, if you perfect dodge, you get free hits. Use any style what you want. If you can't assassinate, you can go range, you can go melee. you can parry. Now if you parry, if you time it successfully, you get slow motion time again. Also abuse the dodge button. That's very important. It saves lives too. So just remember, practice makes perfect. Once you practice on what you do on land or sea, you'll master the combat system in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It is now time to give everybody some final tips and thoughts on Assassin's Creed Odyssey and how to survive it as a new player. First of all, the save system, you want to abuse that over and over again. Second of all, is your Odyssey, your story is tailored to your needs. If you are going for trophies or achievements, then definitely research ahead of time. Also for resources, know how to farm or pick your own farming method. Same thing for money and also experience points to gain. And finally, just have fun with this game and do the activities and even do the DLC if you have it. Take advantage of this game's world. And if you do all that, then the world is yours. Well, that is it for my Don't Panic Assassin's Creed Odyssey New Player Guide. This is Lord Fenton signing off. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, everyone.